Alright, I think I'm recording. So, my friend Erica created this for Occupy the EPA, and I really like what Henry Ford is saying, and I want to create something that's maybe a little bit more visually captivating, so people will read this message. And commend Erica, of course, for being able to do what she did with Photoshop. It can be a little difficult sometimes. Let me show you how I would take the same thing that she created and make it visually impactful in a way that would make people want to read it. So I went ahead and grabbed a picture of Henry Ford from the internet, the same picture she used, and I also grabbed this picture, which I still haven't reduced in size, but oh, oops, wrong one, there we go. It's hemp or marijuana, whatever you want to call it. And so I've decided I'm going to juxtapose these two things side by side and see, if I can create something captivating. So now I want to have, I'm just going to overlay these two. You just get a kind of visual sense where this is going. Now I think this is also, if I go to image size, this is pretty big, so I have a little bit of leeway with sizes. I'm going to take Henry Ford over here and maybe bring him up a bit, because I do not want to reduce size. I want to make him prominent. Probably do something like that. Can always go back. It just gives you a general idea of where this is going to go. Okay, so let's bring him back out. And so I want to sort of isolate him from the background. So I'm just going to very quickly. Let's change this color here. Let's do a red fill, no stroke, and let's reduce the opacity, 69. Cool. Okay, so let's do it again. So right now we're kind of creating very quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, I normally would, but very quickly. This is an Illustrator, you can't do that. In Illustrator, if you use a spacebar, you can shift the point, but in Photoshop you cannot. So if you don't get it right the first time, you have to stop and redo. Then I press Option to get that there. Oops, actually, didn't need that. So I'm going to click there instead, use my A, then delete that. Bring back my P. Option, click, oops, okay, nope, gotta start back from here. Alright, I don't know what I'm gonna do about his hair. I may do something later, we'll see. Depends. Sometimes I just gotta get the rough outline out, and then you go back in there with the erase tool. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit, to get the finer hairs, because that stuff, an option there to get a fine point, that stuff really, I mean, if you really want to get good at it, you can, but you can't do it with the pen tool, it'll drive you insane. So instead, you just do a general mask very quickly. As you see, I gotta reduce the opacity even more. It's getting a little difficult to see because they're all blending. And then I can move that. Probably. Oop. Do something like that. Okay. And then We're gonna make a sharp one here because I don't know what that's supposed to look like. Okay, we can bring back more opacity now. Go back here. So it gives you just a general outline of what that would look like. Go all the way to the bottom. And go all the way here. You close that shape. So basically got this shape right here that very quickly I can see there's going to be some issues with hair, but that's fine. I don't care about that right now because now I've got this on top of this. Highlight that using my command selection. So now I got the dancing ants, the marquee, and then I click on that and bam. He has now been isolated. It's still all there. See, it's just a mask, I'm telling you. Alright, so the next step is, of course, is that, well, that looks really shitty. So I'm going to get my brush, press B. Now the thing about the brush is, you see right over here it's got black and white. Oh no, he's no forehead. Don't worry, that's all still there. But I'm just painting him on my mask. See what I mean? So I can now have my brush, set that, and I got this kind of, ooh, it's not as harsh. Still, you get the point, right? So I'm basically drawing on my mask. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna, oops, wrong. Just gonna go in here and just feather it a little bit. You know, that's hair. You know, it's gotta look like hair. So, you know, none of that. And then maybe a little bit of feather. Okay, and bam. You know, it's hit or miss. It really is. You'll experience this on yourself or by yourself. But basically, you can start to draw. And then, I mean, that, you know, just really play with it. And, I don't want to spend too much time on it. This is really just an introduction. If you want to, you know, do this, try it. It's a great technique for filling out hair, especially if you're doing something that demands, like, especially is oriented around the hair. Like if it's, you know, if you're shooting beauty, let's say, this is a great technique to edit the hair. Of course, you want to spend a lot more time on it, but that's bottom line. Cool. So the next thing is that maybe I want to feather it out a little bit, or maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal if the hem itself was black and white. So I'm going to go here and do a hue saturation, and I'm going to bring that saturation all the way down. Bam. Now, maybe we want to have a little bit. Yeah, okay. And then maybe another thing we want to add, another layer, is, can I do a photo filter? What kind of photo filter? Warming. Oh no, I don't want filter. Never mind. Oh, no thanks. Delete. It's not going to let me do a blur, is it? Okay, so because I want to maintain... See, I still haven't changed this original file, but because I want to maintain the fidelity of this picture, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a smart object. So how do I do that? It's been a while since I've made a smart object. I'm much more of a hack when I work. Filter maybe? Smart object. How do I make something a smart object? I've probably already missed it. Convert to smart object. Alright, so now I can change this whatever. It'll always be a smart object, so to speak. So now I'm going to go here and blur, Gaussian blur, and then, oh, too much. Now, see, the issue with doing that is, let's give it a little bit of a blur. Minor. I'm not sure about the hue saturation. I think that may be a better thing. Yeah. Okay, and then the text. So we're going to do a side-by-side because we are copying the text verbatim. So let's stick this on the left. It's going to be a little pitched like that. Okay, never mind. Okay. Oh, wrong. Internet. Actually, you know what? We're just going to copy this image. Go back here, go back full screen, and then paste. That works. Alright, so there we got the sample text. And then we'll just create a type layer, make sure that we're in white. Let's select alternate Gothic for now. And let's start with one. That's too small. Oh, and delete, because I want to create this in a box. Put it into Y. Let's go left. Y, use up the forests, which were centuries in the making, and the mines, which required ages to lay down. If we can get equivalent of forest and mineral products in the annual growth of fields. Okay, dash, oops, dash, and move forward. And then I'm going to write this because this is true, the original Model T. The original Model T was designed to run on hemp oil. And that is truth, my friends. So, now we want to make sure that this, looks good. So we've got just the basic. Now I don't know if we're going to stay with this or we're going to go with a different kind of font. I chose a thicker font because we are working with a complex background, and so we need a lot of thickness to our font, so to speak. So let's bring out our menu here. I'm not sure about this -60. It may work in this case. However, this auto, whatever the hell that's called. What is this called? Hold on. Just gotta hover instead. Leading or leading. I don't know. This leading. I never know the words for. I'm self-taught, so I didn't learn any of this from any school. And then let's go ahead and make all these capitals. Perfect. So, or capital, not capitals. And let's make these a little bit bigger. Okay, now I can actually, I would be fine. So, okay, let's go larger for a second. And let us go a little bit larger, because it's not impeding until there. I'm not worried about that yet, because that's going to be smaller. Let's go a little bit. What if I change, and what is this called? The kerning, I believe? Tracking. See, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's about it. Let's try a little bit more. Okay, we can start pushing it there. We could potentially go back to 60. And then if you look at this again, we will do that. Okay, so I'm not sure what this is going to look like. I'm still just playing with it, guys, so you can either choose to hang out or not, or just fast forward a little bit. Why use up the forests? And so this one, so why don't we go use up? I want to make it ugly. I don't want to make it pretty. I could go green, but green is very hard it's difficult for legibility reasons. I don't want to go pink or anything because that's not the message here. Really, it's destruction and it's death, right? So why use up the forests? And I may end up doing something like here. Let's do this now. Oops. So let's say we would do like I don't know, like an outer glow. Obviously that's too much. Also, it would need to be white. So maybe let's reduce the opacity. See, now that actually ruins that over there. So maybe what we want to do is we want to do black. And then instead of screen, we just do normal. And now we have that. So if we got that black, then we need to go ahead here and change these colors to maybe something a little bit. You know, we could go for just the crimson. It's still legible. See, it needs to be passionate. Why use up the forests? Control C that, copy that, and let's go here in this glow. Let's make it a little bit darker. No. See, the issue then becomes, ugh, never mind, no outer glow. We're just going to do this as a drop shadow. Where is drop shadow? There it is. Okay, so we're going to, actually, let's have a focal opacity with 0 size. And then let's do that distance. Bam. Okay. So instead, we can have a little bit more fun with this. Because we need kind of difficult to read. Use up the forest. I don't want that to be difficult to read. I want that to be easy to read. Difficult. Maybe this drop shadow. First of all, let's delete this out of here. Maybe this drop shadow have less opacity. No, it looks weak with more opacity. Okay, maybe they're too scrunched up onto each other. I'm not sure this is making. Oh, it was. It just was taking forever to respond. That's right. That's why you highlight this. Okay. Now, I'm not sure about the -60. See, like, here's what I would do, right? So I'd probably make this larger. Why use up the forests? Now, this is way too, it just seems too scrunched up. Especially with the black. Interesting. Needs to be a comma there. And the mines. Let's make this larger than life too. Maybe let's play with this. You know, like you see what you can start doing, right? Okay, so let's make this red as well. No, let's keep that white. And then blue for homeostasis. Okay, I don't want to have too much color. So I'm only going to use 2 colors, other than white. Okay, this one we no longer need. This we need to extend. Okay, now you're starting to see, of course, that this really isn't making much sense. Okay. Free up his face a little bit, huh? Okay, so we're getting a little bit more of a sense of just how this is shaping up to be. I'm still not happy with it. I mean, I'm still just playing. But maybe come back in a little bit after I've played with it. Okay, so here we are. I've had an opportunity to work on this a little bit. Obviously, I don't want text to be all over his head, so let's go right about there, which means I gotta crop out. And you can only really do this in Photoshop 6, where you can see a 6 that you can recover it like this. And you have to make sure that you have delete crop pixels off to make sure that that is not deleting what you've created. And so now we're just kind of just optimizing it. Let's see how we want it to look. Let's go back here. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is explore what this would look like if there was no color, because I'm not necessarily sure. Now the color does add, but I'm not sure it adds. What if that was just red? Maybe the red was just one. Damn it! I wish I didn't have a rule that I set up. Cause in the mine, see, it's just too much. Why use up the forest, which were centuries, and the mines, which required ages to lay down, if we can get the equivalent of forest and mineral products in the annual growth of the hemp fields. Okay. Maybe we don't make him. Henry Ford. What about that thing? Ugh, that's disgusting. What if we were to italicize it? And let's bring home you back a little bit. Yeah, I like him more involved. Now I'm not sure how I feel about him being above the text. Because then I have to have him lower. Okay, let's do that. And on this, will just have to be on another separate layer. X that out. That's fine. We'll copy this drop shadow and put it back. Let's make use of green. Then Model T, if I remember correctly, had a dash. Okay. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is roughly, I just want to do its levels. Yes, perfect. I want to go a little bit darker. Yeah. Because I really want the message to pop through. Ooh. Maybe if I do that, then I don't have to go that dark here. And remember, these are non-destructive because these are adjustment layers. So I have it, but then I could easily just turn it off. But see what a difference that makes? Where we were and where we are now. Okay, Henry Ford. We do have a Gaussian blur, but now I feel like the Gaussian blur could, because I've got the text, I could possibly give it a little bit more. So preview without it. Oh, preview with it. Definitely makes it a lot more legible. Okay. Alright, so now we will save that out. Ooh, nice. Press size. I wonder if, before I do that, if I just go here, occupy the EPA, copy paste that shit. Might as well direct people directly here, because it is for them actually. So let's create another one. Bam, occupy the EPA. Let's make sure that that's green. You can't see it yet because it's behind forward. The reason maybe we want to do this one a little bit smaller. And we're going to add a space. Not that there should be a space. I hope they don't try and use a space. I'm not sure if that would what that would do. And Facebook.com. It'd be interesting what that would look like if I did do blue here. It's not the right blue, that's for damn sure. That's not too bad. It's still in the same family. It's not bad. What if, okay, since we're in the same family, what if we went a little bit more yellow here? Okay, let's see what this looks like. Interesting. I like that one more. It breaks it up a little bit. If I'm going to do that, then I can't have blue as well. Well, remember, I said can't have more than 2 colors. Forest, the mines, forest, mineral, hemp. Hemp. That, I mean, the idea is hemp, right? It's hemp. Okay, so now we may need to make this a little bit bigger. And let's drop this down a bit. Just a little bit lower. Okay. And then let's bring this dude a little bit lower too. And then maybe... Okay, maybe we make this big. What happens if I just move this a little bit lower? Again, because this is for Facebook profiles. How low can you go? Okay, and then we'll just make this larger like so. See, I thought so. It didn't look centered in it. Okay. Yeah, that's the center. Thank you very much. Now let's do that then. Too much. Let's make that mode. What would this be like if it wasn't all capital like that? No. Damn it. L2. Let's go back to italics. All right. So next, I think this may be a little big. So let's make this a little bit smaller. Yeah. I think it was taking over. It did need some space, but yeah, it needs space. And then bam. Just minor. Okay. Alright, so Control-Alt-Shift-S, or Command in your case. Control. Save that out. Let's just save this out to the desktop. Under temp. Forward. Let's go here. And let's photo video this shit. Forward. Bam.